binoculars and welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with Memphis Depay, as it has been reported that Sevilla will negotiate for the out-of-favor Barcelona forward in the month of January. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about this report claiming that manager Xavi had warned Barcelona players about strict rotation policy at the start of this season. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. In the summer transfer window that saw Barcelona sanction the sale of players such as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Martin Braithwaite, Philippe Coutinho and Nico Gonzalez, among many others, the presence of Memphis Depay in this team was a surprise for many. The Dutchman ended up remaining at the Camp Nou despite serious speculations over his long-term future at the club. There is no secret that Barca had no desire to keep hold of his services, and the attacker could not only purely due to the club's hefty demands for the player. And now, according to Feature Jets, Barcelona remain in talks with other clubs over the possibility of offloading Depay in the January transfer window. One of the clubs in talks with the Catalans over the Dutchman is Sevilla. The Spanish Giants were linked to the move for the former Manchester United starlet during the summer transfer window, but the club could not reach an agreement with Barca. The Blaugrana were reluctant to let go of the attacker on a cut-price deal. As such, the move could not materialize, but that could change soon as Barcelona begin to, soften their stance on Depay and consider the possibility of offloading him on lower terms. Depay's contract at Camp Nou, after all, expires at the end of this season. It means Barcelona may have to settle for the attacker leaving for free next summer if they fail to offload him in the January transfer window. Therefore, a January move to Sevilla has been mooted for Depay, who has been identified as the ideal man to solve Julen Lopetegui's attacking crisis. Sevilla have endured a disastrous start to the season, having only won one of their opening 5 matches. They have scored only 6 goals in the process, which has accentuated the need for attacking reinforcements in the January transfer window. Depay, to that end, could be an interesting fix as the Dutchman brings a wealth of experience and may offer the goal-scoring prowess required to pull Sevilla out of the mess this season. Memphis Depay was linked with a move away from Barca for practically the whole summer transfer window, but it came as a surprise that at the end he did not leave. Juventus were muted to be his destination, but at the end Juventus had to choose another player instead of him, which came as a disappointment for Barca, who were hoping that Memphis would leave and of course create some space on the wage bill, but that wasn't meant to be. So he still continues to be linked with a move away, as this new report claims that Sevilla are showing strong interest in him and they intend to go for Memphis in the January transfer window. So personally, I'm not in support of that move. When the summer transfer window was still ongoing, I made mention of it many times that Barca need at least a backup for Robert Lewandowski. Being as a center forward, I don't think it's a good idea that Lewandowski being our only center forward. What if an injury comes? That's a problem. And I don't know why Xavi is not reasoning out towards that direction. Normally, we all as fans, most fans like Aubameyang, but it was just unfortunate that Aubameyang had to leave for Chelsea, which I quite understand why he left. Aubameyang is a player of such a high caliber and he's not a bench product, so I don't think he himself evaluated everything, seeing that if he stayed, he could have been on the bench most frequently, and that was not a good idea. But Memphis Depay at least have accepted to be on the bench, but still yet Xavi hardly uses him. We know, you cannot even compare the class of Robert Lewandowski to players like Memphis, right? So having Memphis in the squad is very important. Xavi used Memphis in the first half of the game against Cadiz, which was a good rotation. Even though I was not happy for the fact that Memphis did not make use of that game to perform well. He had some crazy chances that he missed. He did not even play particularly well, and I don't think that's the best thing to do when the coach does not even count on you, and the little opportunity that the coach gives you, you are still messing up. That was not a good idea from that was not a good play, and that was not that was so bad for Memphis. Normally, given opportunity, he needs to utilize the opportunity to the highest level because he should know very well that Xavi does not even care about him. So that's how things are. So let's see if Sevilla will succeed in getting Memphis in the January transfer window. And I wouldn't be surprised if Barca push for the move to go through, because Barca really want Memphis Depay's name to be offloaded from the wage bill for them to have some space, So let's see. Memphis Depay himself is even frustrated about too much lack of game time. So it will be quite interesting to see if Barcelona push for the move, or if Memphis Depay himself push for the move come January. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, Barcelona's recent 2-0 defeat to Bayern Munich was a major dent in what was otherwise been an excellent start to the season for Barca. With 13 points on the board, they are trailing Real Madrid by just 2 points and looking like proper title challengers or contenders in these early parts of the season. A key reason behind their success has been Xavi, the coach, who has been able to implement several strategies and make Barcelona much more flexible. However, apart from his tactical decision-making, Xavi has also introduced a rotation policy in an attempt to keep the squad healthy and fit, according to Dario Sport. The report suggests Xavi had warned everyone in the team about his rotation policy at the start of the season. He wanted to implement it in order to avoid fatigue within the camp while keeping everyone happy in regards to their overall game time. You are all going to enjoy the rotations. There will be breaks for everyone, Xavi had informed the dressing room before the start of the season. Almost all of the players were promised to be subjected to Xavi's rotation policy, including indispensable stars such as Robert Lewandowski, Jules Koundé, Pedri, and Ronald Araujo. A month into the new season, Xavi has lived up to the promise, having rested all of them at least once over the past 4 weeks. However, others have criticized his policy, with players such as Ferran Torres and Memphis Depay yet to gain prominence in the team. Nevertheless, not a single Barcelona player had raised any issue with Xavi's rotation policy. The coach himself should remain committed to his policy until he finds a dependable 11 and his first team options gain a certain level of fitness. I think so far so good for the way Xavi have been rotating the team, and that's the importance of squad depth. Xavi have been emphasizing on squad depth, which is so important for any team. If you want to challenge for titles, for all the trophies, you must have the squad depth. When we take a closer look at the big teams, the so-called big teams in the Europe top 5 leagues, they have very good squad depth, something that Barca had not had for a very long time. And Xavi came to make sure that this season Barcelona is at that level where we have a lot of quality players. Even if this player is injured, there's another player that fits the bill well. If the fatigue level will not be there to affect us like last season or the other seasons, and I think that's a good way of doing your transfers. But of course, we see the way Barca spent last summer. We spent one of the highest in Europe, and just to have the depth, just to have the quality players at our disposal. So the rotation is quite necessary, and I think Xavi have been doing it good. So this report is claiming how Xavi had already warned the Barca players ever since before the season even kick-started, telling them that there will be serious rotation this season, so everybody should be aware of that. So I think there's competition, and I think most players will be playing at their very best because they know that if they don't play well, the manager will hardly use them. So that's the good thing. That's the advantage of having having squad depth, so that players will be competing with one another to make sure that the manager favors but them most of the times in the starting 11. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.